for global progress, giving every country and industry a chance to join the AI revolution. Open source is also key to AI safety, enabling international cooperation on standards, benchmarks, and safeguards. Today, AI is fundamental infrastructure like electricity and internet before. AI is revolutionizing the supply chain, changing how we build and move things. Hundreds of projects in China are simulating digital twins in NVIDIA's Omniverse to design and optimize factories and warehouses. And robots are trained inside NVIDIA Omniverse, the virtual worlds, to work safely alongside people in the physical world. The next wave of AI is robotic systems that understand the physical world, reason, and perform tasks. Within a decade, factories will be powered by software and AI, orchestrating teams of robots working alongside people, building smart products that are also driven by AI. AI will be central to every industry, company, product, and service. And AI has sparked a new industrial revolution and a new growth opportunity for the incredible supply chain ecosystem of China. NVIDIA将技术与您我们长期的合作伙伴，以及众多新朋友携手，在 AI 世代共创繁荣未来。谢谢大家。
谢谢黄仁勋先生。好，现在我们有请国际商会秘书长丹顿先生发表致辞。John Denton, please.
It's a big act to follow, Jensen. I've got to tell you, I don't have any Chinese, but I do want to say thank you very much for inviting me as Secretary General of the International Chamber of Commerce to join you. It's a great pleasure to be here at my third visit to this wonderful platform, which is this expo. I'm honored to share this platform with Vice Premier He and Deputy President Mushatile of South Africa to celebrate the expo's theme, Connecting the World for a Shared Future. When I was reflecting on this theme, I called to mind an old Chinese proverb. Friends, a single thread cannot make a line. A single tree cannot make a forest. So, my friends, this event is much more than an expo. It is a forest of connections between economies, industries, and people, helping to forge closer global partnerships in supply chains, aiding economic recovery. We are here together to advance our shared prosperity, and we have seen evidence of this over previous editions of this expo. We celebrate the more than 6,700 cooperation agreements that were signed last year. At the International Chamber of Commerce, we have been cultivating connections and building shared futures since we were founded over 100 years ago. As many of you know, we represent more than 45 million companies in more than 170 countries. 70% in the global south. We actually enable $17.5 trillion worth of economic activity every year. We are not an observer of the global commerce. We are an active participant. And we have a simple but ambitious mission to facilitate cross-border trade and investment for peace, prosperity, and opportunity for all. And let us be clear, we have proactively worked to support the development of global value chains that have helped achieve this mission. But we cannot take this progress for granted. Our recent economic research shows that if current tensions continue to grow and the global trading system, which we have talked about so much this morning, continues to erode, developing and emerging economies would see a 33% drop in exports over the next little while. However, initiatives such as this Expo provide proof that we can work together to find opportunities that allow us to keep growing. There are three key actions we must take to achieve this ambition. First, we must reaffirm our commitment to the power of nations working together, not as some nostalgic ideal, but as a pragmatic necessity to provide the opportunity for shared prosperity. We must come together to revitalize the underpinning rules of the global trading system to reflect today's economic realities. There is no area in which this is more important than in e-commerce facilitation. This sector contributes alone multiple billions of dollars worth of economic activity in the global economy. But without certainty provided by trading rules and legal recognitions, businesses will continue to hesitate to invest and innovate that we need so much. We look forward to the 14th WTO Ministerial Conference in Cameroon, which brings together all the leaders of this system as an opportunity to actually restate the underpinning commitment to the principles that guide us. ICC will work with governments around the world to secure an essential and permanent extension to the WTO moratorium on customs duties for electronic transmissions that provides clarity and confidence for digital commerce. We do not need a tax on the internet, my friends, and we want to work with the governments of China and with the government of South Africa and with the government of Thailand to achieve this. This will be evidence of the willingness of the parties to actually revitalize and ensure the system is relevant in the 21st century. Let's face it, the reality is over 90% of bills of lading, the essential tool of cross-border commerce, are still paper-based because they are not legally recognized around the world. We must ensure that they are actually capable of being used, and therefore we will increase the digitization. Digitization across cross-border trade will reduce trade costs by up to 13% and increase exports by as much as 80%. We are leading the way on this through the ICC Digital Standards Initiative, but we want more support from governments to get this done. This will increase economic activity. By investing in legal reform, engaging businesses in supply chain sectors and trade finance providers, we need to reach out to SMEs, and so governments across the developing world can make huge progress in unlocking the potential gains from trade. Another huge opportunity will come from aligning global trade and investment with the green transition. The global economy needs over $1 trillion to meet the climate goals of the Paris Agreement. Yet there are structural barriers that are preventing good businesses from mobilizing capital and participating more widely in key sectors to drive the energy transition. These include the very macroprudential regulatory frameworks that were put in place after the 2008-2009 financial crisis. Those prudential frameworks have not been updated effectively to represent the reality of the global economy in 2025. They make it impossible for good companies to get access to finance properly priced, and even harder for developing economies to get access to the finance at a legitimate price to ensure that they can participate in the energy transition. This, if we actually fix this, and this is an opportunity through the South African G20 process, and get those macroprudential regulatory frameworks reorganized and to reflect the global reality of 2025, then we can actually move forward to get the investment that we need for the infrastructure and also allow companies to function effectively. Friends, there are thousands of frozen investment decisions caused by backlogs of commercial disputes around the world. Did you know that there are multiple millions of commercial disputes for SMEs stuck in legal systems in developing and emerging economies? If we are able to unlock that, we will be able to unlock an additional level of $1 trillion worth of economic activity every year. If we can do that, that, my friend, is enabling finance for development. And we at the ICC, and I'm inspired by Jensen Huang's discussion of NVIDIA, we are building a global platform driven by AI to enable that. It will be another public good provided by the ICC, and we should work with NVIDIA to develop that because it will deliver more than $1 trillion worth of economic activity. If we can deliver on these actions, we can actually provide the trust and certainty which are so critical to moving forward. Trust and certainty, of course, are built through transparency, consistency and cooperation. Colleagues, the theme of this expo, Connecting the World for a Shared Future, is not just a slogan. My friends, it is a strategy, and it's one that we must pursue with urgency and unity. So let us work together to grow a forest of shared prosperity where the benefits of trade are secure and sustainable for all. Thank you.
谢谢丹顿先生。下面我们有请英中贸易协会主席古佩琴爵士发表致辞。有请 ，Please Sherrod。
Your Excellency, Vice Premier He Lifeng, Your Excellency, Deputy President of the Great Republic of South Africa, my dear old friend, Chairman Wren, my old friend, Secretary General Denton, and my dear new friend, Jensen Huang, the king of connected cool. It is so good to be here again at the third of these great expos. This expo, given what is happening in the world around us, is more important than ever. More important than we dreamt when we first met here in Beijing. And I want to say to you, Mayor Ying of Beijing, Beijing means, in Putonghua, the northern capital. It is actually the global Jing, the world capital, more and more as we come together in this great connected city. And I pay tribute to you, Mr. Mayor, for all that you are doing to connect Beijing, not just with Zhongguo, not just with Yingguo, but with the world. Now, as every one of my Chinese friends here this morning will know, more than 1,000 years ago, in the Song dynasty, China led the world in the technologies of the pre-modern world. Paper, printing, gunpowder, the magnetic compass, all were used here in ways that visitors from the West could only marvel at. And there was a rapidly appreciating copper currency. Eat your heart out, commodity traders today. Now, shortly after, when Marco Polo reported on what he had seen here in China and returned to Europe, he was not believed. He was not believed by skeptical Europeans that here in China the technologies of the future were not just being developed but being used. And I confess that over the past 6 years, visiting China with great delegations from Yingguo, from Britain, and returning to London on reporting in a ride round Beijing, Mr. Mayor, in an autonomous bus, or visiting 2 days ago a factory here in Beijing making the coolest connected cars manufactured by a company named by Jensen that only 5 years ago was making mobile phones. And when I report on that back in Britain, sometimes political leaders, policy makers, driven by ideology and ignorance, are not prepared to believe that China has overtaken the West in so many of the technologies of the 21st century and beyond. The fact is that the world will not get to net zero without Chinese technology, Chinese innovation, Chinese applied science. We won't develop the sustainable future we all need without China playing a central role in that. And that is why I'm pleased to welcome here today my old boss and friend from Weifeng, the world's most connected bank, HSBC, Sir Noel Quinn, for the Sustainable Markets Initiative. Now, as Chairman Ren knows so well, in this world we need what is called in today's Beijing initiative two-wheel drive, two-wing flight, two-chain integration. But the flow will not all be from east to west. In the case of Britain and China, we have two complementary economies. In the delegation I was with earlier this week, there were representatives of two of the world's great life sciences companies, representatives of some of the great financial and professional services firms based in London. So what we need, what we must insist on, is the two-way flow, which is the theme of this conference. And I'm so glad to read this morning that the H20 chip will be returning to China soon. And that is why, as chair of the China-Britain Business Council, I take such pleasure in endorsing the Beijing initiative, which we will launch later today, and its 6 pillars. And I also take great pleasure in the upswing in the relationship between our two countries. For Britain and the relationship between Britain and China, Liberation Day was the 4th of July 2024, when a government came to power in London determined to improve the relationship between our two countries for the benefit of both of us. The previous government had adopted the mistaken and misguided policy of decoupling, or rather trying to decouple our two economies. And speaking of misguided and mistaken, I can do no better than cite what I believe to be the central tenet of the teachings of Confucius, Confucius. Do not impose on others what you would not want imposed on yourself. I don't know if Confucius knew the T word, but I'm sure he would have said or taught, do not impose on others tariffs you would not wish imposed on yourself. That is today's analect from Confucius. Now I want to end by citing another great teacher and referring back to what Vice Premier He said so wisely. We do, in our families, in our firms, in our companies, in our countries, specialize. And countries, regions, continents should all specialize. More than 200 years ago, at a house to the west of London, where the sister of the British King now lives, the man who invented the theory of comparative advantage died, David Ricardo. Now this conference is about supply chains, but another word for supply chain is connected specialization. Jensen makes his chips in California. We manufacture the financial services to finance their export in London. Connected specialization, supply chains, is what this conference is all about. Now, more than 100 years ago, a British writer who later became a fellow of the college at Cambridge University that is perhaps the greatest friend of China, King's College, Cambridge, the home of John Maynard Keynes. But this writer, Morgan Foster, E.M. Foster, had a simple slogan: only connect. And only connect, Chairman Wren, should be the motto of our other dear friend, Mr. Linky, the symbol, the avatar of this great conference. Dear Mr. Linky, only connect. Thank you so much.
谢谢顾培新爵士。现在我们有请中国工商银行董事长廖林先生发表致辞，有请。
尊敬的何立峰副总理、马沙蒂莱副总统、任鸿斌会长、各位嘉宾、各位朋友，衷心祝贺第3届链博会成功开幕。很高兴能与各位新老朋友在北京相聚。首先，我谨代表中国工商银行向海内外各界朋友的关心、支持表示诚挚的感谢。习近平主席指出，在经济全球化时代，唯有坚持全球产业链、供应链开放合作，才会带来共赢发展。当前，世界百年变局加速演进，全球经济复苏面临许多挑战。在这样的背景下，维护全球产业链、供应链稳定畅通，已成为国际社会共同关切。本次链博会既承载着全球工商界深化合作、 共创未来的美好期盼，更是一个展示全球产业链供应链合作最新成果和丰富经验的盛会。今天，中国国际展览中心高朋满座，6年一展期，人气旺盛，充分展现了全球工商界的活力与创造力。中国工商银行作为全球系统重要性银行，也是全球最大商业银行，服务网络通达69国家地区，既有领先的一点接入全球响应的服务能力。我们担任中欧企业联盟、一带一路银行间合作机制 BRBR 等平台的主席单位，积极参与全球经济金融治理。上届链博会以来，我们推进参会企业对接服务全覆盖，数字供应链融资营业额增长8%。本次链博会国际范更足，创新味更浓，链接度更高。我们将以此为新的起点，在各国政府、中国贸促会和国际商会的指导帮助下，继续秉承公的主责主业、商的专业特色，充分发挥国际化的经营优势，为全球产业链上下游客户提供全面的金融解决方案，与中外企业共同做强产业图谱，促进链条畅通。一是以全口径的融资丰富资金链，依托全球工行1.6万个机构，运用股、债、贷、保等产品，为企业搭建投融资的直通车，提供精准、高效、安全的资金支持。二是以全周期融资服务创新链，围绕产、学、研、用各环节，提供接力式、综合化的金融服务，促进科技创新和产业创新深度融合，加快发展新质生产力。三是以全链条融通支持产业链，通过数字供应链等模式，让企业的应收账款、存货、订单、数据等转化为融资的工具，构建美美与共、互利共赢的产业金融生态。各位嘉宾、各位朋友，中国工商银行等金融机构愿与全球合作伙伴携手并肩，共赴山海，以金融活水畅通产业的血脉，连接全球市场，为构建更加安全稳定、畅通高效、开放包容、互利共赢的全球产业链供应链体系贡献更大力量。谢谢大家。
谢谢廖林董事长。女士们、先生们，会前与会工商界深入交流，形成第3届中国国际供应链促进博览会的北京倡议。主要内容有：一、维护全球产业链供应链安全稳定。我们倡议全球工商界践行真正的多边主义，维护开放合作的国际环境，合作构建更具平等性、包容性和建设性的产业链供应链伙伴关系。二、坚持创新引领发展，全球工商界要抓住新一轮科技革命和产业变革的机遇，在人工智能、量子信息、生命健康等前沿领域加强交流合作，完善全球科技治理，让科技进步惠及全人类。三、加快数字供应链发展，全球工商界要推进供应链数字化、智能化、可视化改造，努力弥合数字鸿沟、智能鸿沟，为国际贸易和投资合作创造更好的条件。四、打造绿色可持续供应链，全球工商界要加速落实联合国2030可持续发展议程，协同推进民生福祉改善和气候治理，大力发展绿色低碳经济，加快发展方式绿色转型。五、深化全球工商界合作，全球工商界要依托链博会等重要的经贸平台， 深化交流互鉴和产业链供应链合作，构建共生共赢的产业生态。各国贸易投资促进机构和商协会要充分发挥桥梁纽带作用，促进产业链和供应链两链融通。我们欢迎更多国家的工商界朋友加入本倡议，携手共筑安全稳定、畅通高效、开放包容、互利共赢的全球产业链供应链体系。女士们、先生们、朋友们，作为中国最大的全国性贸易投资促进机构，中国贸资会将牢牢把握服务中外企业这个根本，坚定维护产业链、供应链公共产品的属性，为推动建设开放型世界经济、构建人类命运共同体做出更大的新的贡献。现在我宣布，第3届中国国际供应链促进博览会开幕式到此结束。祝各位嘉宾身体健康，事业兴旺，万事如意！谢谢大家。
感谢任会长 ，Thank you, Chairman 任。女士们、先生们，让我们掌声欢送何立峰副总理和玛莎蒂莱副总统离场。Ladies and gentlemen, please extend our most sincere gratitude to His Excellency Vice Premier He Lifeng and His Excellency Deputy President Massa Ding for their presence to the summit.
界链接智慧出行，让数据算力赋能千行百业，让人工智能托举健康生活，让绿色能源点亮万家灯火，让金融脉动连通物流网络。1生2，2生3，3生万物。第3届链博会因时而至，因事换新，更多元的机遇，更丰富的交流，更丰硕的成果，更前沿的智慧。链博会是中
以及链博会的各位朋友表示衷心的感谢。习近平主席强调，要共同维护全球产业链供应链的稳定，这是世界经济健康发展的重要保障。这为我们办好链博会、推动产业链供应链国际合作指明了方向，提供了根本遵循。 李强总理出席首届链博会开幕式并发表主旨演讲，同第2届链博会参展参会代表进行座谈。韩正副主席出席第2届链博会并致辞，为各国企业加强产业链、供应链合作注入了强劲的动力。与前2届相比，本届链博会具有以下3个突出的特点：一是国际化水平更高，75个国家和地区，651家企业和机构参展，境外参展商占比从上届的32%上升到本届的35%，连同参展商带来的500多家产业链上下游的合作伙伴，实际参展商达到1200家，170多个境外团组前来观展洽谈。二是链式逻辑更加清晰，本届链博会更加注重帮助企业找朋友、找伙伴、找应用场景。展会期间，各方将举办70多场形式多样的专题活动。我们还将首次成立各链条展商联盟，让产业链、供应链合作更加可感可及。三是创新引领更加突出。本届链博会专门设置了创新链展区，设立链博首发站新品发布展区，将继续发布全球供应链促进报告，首发全球供应链指数矩阵，为全球产业链供应链开放合作贡献链博智慧。女士们、先生们，经过3年的精心培育，链博会已经成为中国推动高水平对外开放的新平台和全球共享的国际公共产品。让我们共同努力，顺应时代发展大势，以积极的态度和建设性的行动，维护以世界贸易组织为核心的多边贸易体系，在链接世界中共创美好的未来。下面让我们以热烈的掌声欢迎何立峰副总理发表致辞，有请。
尊敬的马萨蒂莱副总统和夫人，尊敬的各位嘉宾、女士们、先生们、朋友们，大家上午好。至此第3届中国国际供应链促进博览会隆重开幕之际，受李强总理的委托，我谨代表中国国务院对本次链博会的召开表示热烈的祝贺，向各位嘉宾的到来表示诚挚的欢迎，向所有长期以来参与和支持中国发展的各界朋友表示衷心的感谢。习近平主席指出，在经济全球化时代，唯有坚持全球产业链、供应链开放合作，才会带来共赢发展。前2届链博会以链会友，推动大中小企业聚链成群，优势互补，让供应链成为国际合作的共赢链，成为全球瞩目的国际经贸盛会。今年第3届链博会延续了链接世界、共创未来的主题，将进一步发挥扩大开放、深化合作、引领创新的平台作用，持续为维护全球产业链、供应链稳定畅通凝聚广泛共识，汇聚强大合力。中国是全球产业链、供应链的重要环节，一直以实际行动保障全球产业链、供应链的稳定运行，为深化全球产业链、供应链合作，促进世界经济复苏贡献力量。中国产业体系持续完善，为全球产业链、供应链的稳定运行提供了重要支撑。中国 是世界唯一拥有联合国产业分类中全部工业门类的国家。制造业增加值占全球的比重大约30%，有220多种工业产品的产量居世界的首位，成为全球产业分工体系中坚实可靠的组成部分。中国正在加快建设现代化产业体系，将以更强大的配套能力、更稳定的产能供给，促进全球产业链、供应链不断的降本增效。
more stable supply of production.
中国开放的大门越开越大，为全球产业链、供应链的稳定运行开拓了广阔的空间。中国坚持对外开放的基本国策，已经签署了23个自贸协定，成为150多个国家和地区的主要贸易伙伴。货物贸易规模连续多年排名全球第一，对外直接投资长期位居全球前3。中国正在推进高水平的对外开放，稳步扩大规则、规制、管理、标准等制度性开放，带动更多发展中国家深度参与全球价值链，分享全球生产网络创造的发展红利。中国超大规模的市场优势，为全球产业链供应链的稳定运行释放了巨大的机遇。中国是全球第2大消费市场和进口市场，拥有全球最大规模的消费人群，蕴含着巨大的投资和消费的潜力。中国致力于打造以国内大循环为主体、国内国际双循环相互促进的新发展格局，加力建设全国统一大市场，开展提振消费专项行动，推动中国在制造大国的坚实基础上，成长为超大体量的消费大国。这些都将为各国企业带来更加广阔的增量市场。中国新质生产力在稳步发展，为全球产业链供应链的稳定运行注入了强劲的动力。中国致力于高质量发展，绿色化、数字化、智能化转型加快推进，全社会的研发投入、高技术产业投资连续多年保持了2位数的增长，全球创新指数排名第11位，云计算、大数据、人工智能、区块链等新兴技术在加快运用，新产品、新业态不断涌现。中国是新一轮科技革命和产业变革的最佳应用舞台，将持续推动全球产业链、供应链在质量、效率和动力上不断迈上新的水平。女士们、先生们、朋友们，当前世界100年变局在加速演进，多重风险在交织叠加，世界进入了新的动荡变革期。各国唯有相互尊重、团结协作、互利共赢，才能维护世界的和平稳定，促进全球的发展繁荣。中国坚持经济全球化正确方向，不断以中国新发展为世界提供新的机遇。在此，我愿提出3点倡议：第一，深化分工协作，做全球产业链、供应链稳定畅通的维护者。分工协作是社会发展的必然选择。经济的高效循环离不开要素的流动畅通。人为破坏国际分工，只会推高企业的成本，阻碍世界经济的发展，损害各国人民的福祉。当前， 一些国家以去风险为由干预市场，以加征关税和限制措施等手段搞所谓的制造业回流，产业链供应链的重复建设增多，拉低了全球经济整体的运行效率。我们要正视各个国家资源禀赋以及经济发展水平的差异性，加强宏观经济政策的协调，构建基于各国比较优势的产业链供应链体系，共同做活全球的合作方式，做大全球市场的蛋糕。中国将坚定不移地维护产业链供应链全球公共产品的属性，以各国共同构筑优势互补、合作共赢的生产分工体系，把全球产业链供应链建设得更具韧性、更有效率、更富活力。第二，坚持开放包容，做全球产业链供应链互利共赢的推动者。自由贸易是世界经济发展的必然要求，开放包容是人类繁荣进步的基本条件，互利共赢是民心所向。关税战、贸易战没有赢家，我们要进一步凝聚发展共识，坚决反对人为的将经贸问题政治化、意识形态化、泛安全化，共同维护开放合作的国际环境，构建惠及面更广、包容性更强的全球产业链供应链体系。中国将践行真正的多边主义，推动普惠包容的经济全球化，维护以世贸组织为核心的多边贸易体制，促进各方加强沟通，深化合作，共谋发展。第三，把握发展大势，做全球产业链供应链创新发展的建设者。当前，新一轮科技革命和产业变革在深入发展，极大地改变了全球要素资源配置方式和产业发展模式，也使得全球产业链供应链的合作以重塑，隐喻着无限的商机。我们要共同把握变革的机遇，扩大国际科技交流合作，加强创新合作与成果共享，打破制约知识、技术、人才等创新要素流动的壁垒，培育新兴产业链供应链，共同打造新技术、新产业、新业态、新模式。中国将加快构建以先进制造业为支撑的现代化产业体系，与各方加强合作，促进全球产业链供应链数字化、智能化、绿色化的转型升级。女士们、先生们、朋友们，企业是构成全球产业链供应链的微观主体，是推动各国经贸和产业合作的主力军。希望各位企业家朋友积极顺应大势，更好地把握机遇，做全球产业链供应链稳定畅通的坚定维护者，积极的建设者，重要的贡献者。中国将继续完善高水平的对外开放体制机制，深化产业链供应链的国际协同创新，持续营造市场化、法治化、国际化的一流营商环境，为各国企业提供更多的市场机遇、投资机遇和增长机遇。中国愿意同各方共享机遇、共商合作、共促发展，为促进世界经济复苏和全球产业发展繁荣做出更大的贡献。现在，我宣布第3届中国国际供应链促进博览会开幕。
谢谢何立峰副总理的精彩致辞。何副总理系统阐述了中国保障全球产业链供应链稳定运行、促进世界经济复苏的大国担当，就推动全球产业链供应链稳定畅通、互利共赢、创新发展提出了3点倡议，鼓励广大企业顺应大势、把握机遇、深化经贸和产业合作，彰显中国同各国共享机遇、共促发展的信念和行动。现在我们有请南非共和国副总统保罗·马沙蒂莱阁下发表致辞，有请。
His Excellency Vice Premier He Lifeng, Mr. Ren Hongbin, Chairman of China Council for the Promotion of International Trade, Mr. Park Stau, Honorable Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition of the Republic of South Africa, Mr. Akachen Setovarat, Deputy Permanent Minister of Commerce of the Kingdom of Thailand, Ministers and Deputy Ministers here present, representatives of international organizations, members of the diplomatic corps, CEOs and business executives, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor to address you today at the opening ceremony of the 3rd China International Supply Chain Expo, a prestigious event that showcases the latest developments in supply chain management. This high-level expo is crucial for both our nations because it promotes trade, investments, cooperation, innovation, and learning with the global supply chain ecosystem. South Africa is committed to strengthening global supply chains and fostering resilience in the face of challenges. In today's rapidly changing world, the global supply chain landscape is facing unprecedented challenges, from natural disasters to political upheavals. Despite ongoing challenges, South Africa's supply chain sector is experiencing growth, driven by increased e-commerce activity and technological advancements. Our business communities have been resilient and adapting through strategies like diversifying supplies, holding more inventory, and investing in digital transformation. As government, we have also adopted policies and strategies that are conducive for business to strive. We understand the importance of building robust supply chains that can withstand disruptions and ensure the efficient flow of goods and services. Our diverse economy and strategic location make us a natural gateway for trade and investments, connecting Africa to the rest of the world. As we gather here in China, a key partner in our journey, I see great opportunities for collaboration and mutual growth. Together we can leverage our strengths and capabilities to further build supply chains that are not only efficient and cost-effective, but also sustainable and resilient. The fact that China and South Africa have strong desire to diversify and expand trade between Africa and China is crucial to our efforts to create a solid supply chain. South Africa's export portfolio to China comprises mainly basic commodities. While the trade volumes confirm South Africa's natural endowment, the heavy slant towards mineral-based export belies our advanced infrastructure, our diversified industrial base, and our leading services sector. Our inaugural participation at the China International Supply Chain Expo provides the opportunity to showcase the diversity that we have. Once again, let me reiterate our gratitude for the facilitation and the courtesies extended to the South African official and business delegation. We are accompanied by 30 manufacturers and producers of uniquely South African products and services. These products and services showcase the diversity of South African exports, ranging from ethically sourced and clean cosmetics, comprising pure natural extracts, as well as durable electrotechnical equipment that has passed the test of extreme African climate conditions. Naturally, our offering would not be complete without companies that are showcasing the finest of South African clothing, leather, and footwear. We are exceptionally proud of the delegation that comprises plastics, chemical, and mining engineering firms whose services have met the Chinese standards such that they have been able to jointly complete infrastructure projects with Chinese firms. Esteemed delegates, it is our firm belief that CISCE will be instrumental in linking up Chinese buyers and importers with South African producers at the standards at our stands today. One of our most critical steps in South Africa is the journey to balancing its trade with China will be extensive listing of South African products on e-commerce platforms like Alibaba. We are also making efforts to ensure the placement of quality South African products in various free trade zones throughout China. These various opportunities to obtain first-hand market information and to understand Chinese distribution channels, barriers and procedures for entering and supplying the Chinese market will crystallize our efforts to strengthen business relations between the South African companies and Chinese entities with the aim of developing long-term business. Furthermore, South Africa's strong industrial base, advanced financial sector, and strategic location make it well positioned to contribute to the implementation of free trade agreements, particularly the African Continental Free Trade Area. This area fosters economic integration, increased trade and investment within Africa, while also providing opportunities for China to deepen its engagement with the continent. For South Africa, the African Continental Free Trade Area offers a chance to diversify exports, especially manufactured goods, and reduce reliance on traditional markets. For China, it presents an opportunity to further its economic partnership with African nations by investing in value chains and potentially becoming a key destination for African exports. To diversify its energy balance, reduce carbon emissions, and improve energy security, South Africa is also rapidly increasing its dependence on renewable energy sources. We have set ambitious targets for renewable energy deployment, particularly in solar and wind power. Through the Renewable Energy Master Plan, we have set out how South Africa can set up a new manufacturing industry in renewable energy and battery storage value chains. The master plan also aims to attract at least 15 billion rands in investment by 2030 and train green workers for employment of about 25,000 direct jobs. Our country also has a robust pipelines of investable projects, particularly in special economic zones and key infrastructure. Special economic zones offer incentives, including tax breaks and streamlined regulations. Infrastructure projects, including those in energy, water, sanitation, and transport, are also a key focus of attracting investment and driving economic growth. Ladies and gentlemen, as the chair of the G20 in 2025, we firmly believe that the establishment of enduring business relationship must occur within the framework of a fair, inclusive, and rules-based global economic order. The order should prioritize industrialization, investment in green technologies, and digital infrastructure as key components of sustainable development, especially for developing economies. We aim to foster mutually beneficial economic growth, create jobs, and advance sustainable development for both nations through these efforts. These priorities are reflected in the overall CISCE program, which closely aligns with areas of potential cooperation between South Africa and China. We therefore invite our Chinese counterparts to support and participate in key pillars of our G20 agenda by investing in green industrial projects, renewable energy, digital infrastructure, and regional manufacturing initiatives in South Africa and across the African continent. Through such collaboration, we can deepen our strategic partnership and ensure that the outcomes of South Africa's G20 presidency reflect the shared aspirations of the Global South. Against this backdrop, we also look forward to hosting Chinese and other international buyers, importers, and distributors in a tailored procurement mission that we will arrange on the margins of the G20 summit in November this year. A preview of what awaits you in South Africa can be found at the South African pavilion here at this expo. Lastly, we urge all stakeholders to seize these opportunities, foster partnerships, share best practices, and collectively shape the future of supply chain management to build a more connected, resilient, and prosperous world. I thank you. Sheshe.
谢谢玛莎蒂莱副总统的精彩致辞。Thank you, Your Excellency Vice President, for your excellent speech. 现在我们有请泰国商务部常务副次长艾卡禅·斯达瓦拉兰先生发表致辞，有请。
His Excellency He Linfeng, His Excellency Shimaposa Paulas Mashatila, Mr. Wen Hongping, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. 大家好. On behalf of the Ministry of Commerce of Thailand, it is an honor to be here with you today at the 3rd China International Supply Chain Expo. I wish to extend our sincere gratitude to the China Council for the promotion of international trade for hosting this remarkable event. China International Supply Chain Expo represents for more than a trade exhibition. It serves as a bridge connecting industry, innovations, and nation through our shared mission to strengthen global supply chain and drive sustainable economic growth. This year, the year 2025, has been a challenging year for all of us, placing us at the crossroads of many sorts, particularly the increasing geopolitical and geo-economic competition, which is likely to continue for some time ahead. Against this backdrop, the China International Supply Chain Expo marked the right moment to emphasize the importance of connecting supply chain from upstream to downstream across all industries. To respond to these multifaceted challenges, Thailand proposed a comprehensive four-pillar approach. First, strengthening trade connectivity. We must ensure that all partnerships like RCEP and BRI enable to smooth movement of capital and production base, creating stronger, more secure supply chains while preventing costly disruption to international trade. Second, enhancing supply chain flexibility to diversify technological and innovative solutions. The future belongs to those who can adapt quickly and efficiently. We must develop high value add and integrated industry, leverage each nation's unique strength, whether in workforce quality, specialized skill, or production capability. Then we can create production systems that benefit for all. Third, implementing sustainable supply chain management. Environmental, social, and governance considerations are no longer optional. They are fundamental to our collective future. We must integrate these principles into every aspect of our supply chains, including ambitious carbon reduction initiatives that will help us achieve carbon neutrality. Last but not least, sharing knowledge and labor development. Technology transfer and enhance labor productivity requires sustained investment in human capital. Crucially, we must ensure that small and medium enterprises have a meaningful opportunity to participate in global supply chain, bringing innovation and dynamism to our networks. Ladies and gentlemen, building upon this pillar, Thailand offers a unique advantage to global supply chain partners as the kitchen of the world. We have firmly established ourselves as a major supplier of food and agricultural commodities. However, our vision extends far beyond traditional agriculture, embracing innovation across multiple sectors. In this regard, Thailand is actively utilizing smart farmer practice to leveraging genomic science, remote sensing technology, geospatial agricultural data. We are also invest in high-value production and processing to enhance the competitiveness of 4 key economic crops: rice, cassava, rubber, and fruit through innovation. To ensure trust and quality recognition globally, we establish a range of quality certificates and national marks to strengthen the international credibility of Thai products. Moreover, our strategy geographic location allows us to reduce distance between production source and target market, thereby cutting transportation costs while increasing overall supply chain agility. Thailand is ready to strengthen seamless regional infrastructure connectivity, stimulate investment, particularly in semiconductors and the digital economy, support the transition to clean energy, and promote research and technology development. Above all, we are committed to expand high-quality trade and investment partnership as we have consistently done over the years. Ladies and gentlemen, our relationship with China exemplifies the principle we advocate. This year marks a particularly significant milestone as we celebrate the 50 years of diplomacy relationship between Thailand and China, 5 decades of friendship, cooperation, and mutual growth that have transformed both our nations. As Thailand's strategic partner and number of trading partners for over 12 years, I am confident that we have consistently championed our policy of seeking win-win results. Looking forward, Thailand and China will continue to jointly create diversity in global value chain, strengthening both our economy and the broader international trading system. For Thailand, the China International Supply Chain Expo demonstrates the commitment to multilateralism and mutual benefit. This platform creates opportunities for free movement of goods, expand trade in service, and invest bilateral investment, all while harnessing the comparative advantage that mark our partnership so powerful. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to conclude by saying that all countries participating in China International Supply Chain Expo today represent a chain in this network. Your success is our success, and our continued cooperation across the aspect of supply chain management will determine our shared future. We are not just building supply chain, we are building the foundation for future prosperity, sustainability, and cooperation. The partnership we forge here today, the innovation we develop, and the commitment we make will shape global value chain beyond the generation to come. Thank you very much. 谢谢。
谢谢艾卡禅常务副司长。现在我们有请英伟达公司创始人 兼首席执行官黄仁勋先生发表致辞，有请于此开此话。
I'm honored to attend my first China International Supply Chain Expo. China's supply chain is a miracle, and this is my first time. I'm delighted to be here. This is also the first time that I've had a chance to introduce NVIDIA to China's massive supply chain, the global supply chain, and also this will be the first time, upon the request of Chairman Ren, this will be my first time that I deliver a speech in Chinese. I grew up in the United States. And I learned Chinese along the way. And so, 我现在很紧张, very nervous. And so, let me do my best. 尊敬的何副总理、各位来宾、朋友们，大家上午好。很高兴这次来到中国，这是我第一次参加练博会，这里的规模非常大，气氛也很热烈，充分体现了中国对创新的积极，并激励有工匠繁荣未来。I'm going to do the rest of my speech in English now. So I don't torture you for the rest of the day. This is my first time here, and so I'll introduce you to NVIDIA and also the world and industry we are creating today. It started back in 1993. NVIDIA was just a tiny startup with a big dream. To invent the PC with 3D graphics for gaming. We're proud to have created the PC gaming industry, one of the world's largest technology and entertainment industries. And we did it with pioneers here in China, like Tencent, NetEase, MiHoYo, and Game Science. In 1999, over 20 years ago now, we invented the GPU, the first programmable graphics processor, and opened the door to a new form of computing called accelerated computing. In 2006, we introduced CUDA, turning the GPU into general-purpose computing engine and laying the foundation for the AI era. A decade ago, AlexNet on CUDA NVIDIA GPUs sparked the big bang of AI. Software was once hand-coded and now ran on CPUs. Now AI learn from data and runs on GPUs. This shift from human-coded logic to machine-learned intelligence is resetting the chip and computer industry from the ground up. In 2016, we introduced DGX-1, the world's first AI supercomputer. I personally delivered the the first one to a small, unknown startup in San Francisco, OpenAI. Since AlexNet, from our Kepler architecture to our new Blackwell architecture, NVIDIA has advanced AI computing through chips, systems, networking, and algorithms by 100,000 times. 1,000 times faster than Moore's Law. Today, NVIDIA is the computing platform that powers the global AI ecosystem. AI is transforming every industry, from scientific research and healthcare to energy, transportation, and logistics. AI powers iconic Chinese platforms like Tencent's WeChat, Alibaba's Taobao, and ByteDance's Douyin. AI drives Xiaomi's autonomous vehicles and smartphones. AI enables Baidu's AI search and Meituan's super convenient delivery service. And AI powers InfoVision's medical imaging diagnostics that improves healthcare in over 220 countries worldwide. The heroes of China's super fast innovation are your researchers, developers, and entrepreneurs. More than 1.5 million developers in China build on NVIDIA today to bring their innovations to life. Models like DeepSeek, Alibaba, Tencent, Minimax, and Baidu ErnieBot are world-class, developed here and shared openly, have spurred AI developments worldwide. China's open source AI is a catalyst for global progress, giving every country and industry a chance to join the AI revolution. Open source is also key to AI safety, enabling international cooperation on standards, benchmarks, and safeguards. Today, AI is fundamental infrastructure, like electricity and internet before. AI is revolutionizing the supply chain, changing how we build and move things. Hundreds of projects in China are simulating digital twins in NVIDIA's Omniverse to design and optimize factories and warehouses. And robots are trained inside NVIDIA Omniverse, the virtual worlds, to work safely alongside people in the physical world. The next wave of AI is robotic systems that understand the physical world, reason, and perform tasks. Within a decade, factories will be powered by software and AI, orchestrating teams of robots working alongside people, building smart products that are also driven by AI. AI will be central to every industry, company, product, and service. And AI has sparked a new industrial revolution and a new growth opportunity for the incredible supply chain ecosystem of China. NVIDIA将技术于您我们长期的合作伙伴，以及众多新朋友携手，在 AI 世代共创繁荣未来。谢谢大家。
告诉大家，我最近发现了新法宝 Royal Face 逆时奇迹系列，它有活肤露、全效精华，还有精华霜。尤其我皮肤比较偏干，所以我非常的注重保湿。保湿做得好，肌肤自然烹饪。提亮肤色更年轻，抚平皱纹超有感，而且气色变好。用心保养，每天都更美一点。美吧。